Hey everyone, I'm Michael from Voice and Movement, here to present on my walk and imitation project. So, the subject that I chose for my project is one of my friends from one of my many political science classes, and who also happens to be my workout buddy. However, due to the coronavirus, well, shutting down campus and everything, including the gym. I know it's sad. We basically relocated to Green River Park to do body weight training. But enough of that. Y'all want to hear about the nice walking stuff. So, without further ado, let me start by saying that I managed to get this video of him through when he was just walking around after he did some chin ups, and I just like snuck my camera here and just video recorded him. And the thing is, I found out there are a lot of interesting aspects about his walk, and I will use Laban's terminology to best describe his walk. Okay, so first thing is Laban sets up um, he sets up he sets he sets up like there are like 8 different types of walks that are classified based on the direction, the weight, and the time. Okay, so the 8 different walks that we have are, or the 8 different movements, I'll say, are punch, dab, press, glide, float, ring, slash, and flick. Okay, so with my friend's walk, what I really noticed is that he walks in a very relaxed but also direct way. Like he has his head always facing straight on. Okay, he doesn't wander around and looking around like, whoa, this is a magical place we're in. No, no, he doesn't do that. He has a very clear focus on where he's going, a very clear sense of direction, if I must say. So, with that said, however, he he walks in a very relaxed way. So, if we are to look first off on his feet, on his walking position right here, okay, just gonna go walk to the end of the room where the wooden table is. If you can see that, so he he tends to kind of I would say like distribute his weight relatively evenly among his feet when walking, but it is, I would say, rather on the heavier side as opposed to on the lighter side. And when he steps down, he always steps heel and down all the way to toe, basically, when he walks. So something like this, okay? Just looking at the legs like this. Okay, and walk backwards. All right. And again. And one last time. Okay. So that right there is the weight distribution and the feet, how he places how he places his feet like when he's walking. So the second thing that I found that was kind of interesting about his walk is his arms. When he walks, he always like he kind of sways his arms gently, At least when they're not in his pockets. When they're in his pockets, um, they don't really move. He just basically keeps them still and walks with a rather wide or open kind of posture right here. Okay, so if we're trying to do the arms here, it would look something like this. Yep. So basically, the thing is, with with every step, the opposite arm comes up like this. Yep. One more. Whoops. All right. Like that. Um. So the the third thing about his walk is that he often yeah, so I dabbled on about this earlier on in the video, but he kind of has a rather relaxed posture here. So um, we're going to talk about what he does with his when his arms are in his pockets, and this is why this is important because I'm going to show you what he does with the rest of his body. So see, when he walks, his back is rather straight. Like he looks forward a lot and rarely off to the sides or anything like that. He has a very strong sense of direction. So if we are to be walking with my hands in my pockets, the way he did, it would be something like this. Yeah, something along the lines of that. Um, yeah. So I would say I would say he walks with a rather I'll say he walks with a rather relaxed pace. That being he that being he which is kind of I feel a bit which can be kind of contradictory. Like you think wow he's walking in a very he walks in a very direct way, heavy steps, but he's walking kind of slowly. Well, it's not as weird as it actually looks. So the thing is, what I observed is he often he takes his time when it comes to walking to for lack of better words. So if we were to do with the arms out like this, he often walks in a very slow pace, a lot like this. Basically, kind of think it as a cross between kind of like marching, so to say, and also a heroic stride, if that makes sense. Like when you see in movies, guys are always like, kind of like leaning into their steps, but they're walking very slowly. Well, versus the more militant stride like this, it's kind of like a mix between the two, where like sometimes you feel like he's kind of like a soldier, and then other times you feel really that where it looks like he's trying to be kind of like some sort of hero in some sort of movie, some sort of action hero or something, walking up in the face of danger. Uh, but regardless of that, I would say that overall, um, his walk would be more of a press because a press in Laban's terms is direct, is heavy. Yeah, weight wise is heavy, and it is rather slow, which is, essentially you're pressing something up. If you're thinking of, say, if you're doing like a push up, or a bench press, you're pressing it. Okay, it's very slow, very controlled movement. You're not you're not like pushing it away. Yeah, this is a push. This is more of a press right here. So that's why I think is his type of walk. So if we try to put everything in together with his head and his body, with along with his arms and how he walks his legs, walks his legs, it looks something along the lines of this. Yeah. So with that said, that is pretty much how my subject walked during my walk imitation project. So, some strengths that I felt I had, or some things I did well, I should say. Um, I think for a lot of people when they do this project, they say, "Oh, I know this person, quite well, and their personality does not match like the way they walk or whatever." I think for me, I was actually fortunate enough to where his personality actually matched his actual walking style because when I do talk to him, he basically gets to the point, but he also approaches things in a more like what should I say, like a relaxed way or exasperated way, I would say. If that makes any sense. Um yeah, so I think that honestly is one of the things that I felt I had going for me, when I was doing this project. One thing I wish I could have worked on more is maybe have gotten better footage of him walking because I kind of just snuck the camera under my arm and hopefully he didn't notice. I don't know, maybe he did. And I think it's all right. I think he'll be honored that I chose to do my project on him. So overall, did I thought this project was unique, definitely different than some of the other projects that we've had in class. But I don't know. I felt that some things were a bit kind of unclear. I guess with trying to imitate someone's walking pattern is something that's a bit tougher for me since I'm kind of better when it comes to like imitating how people speak, I would say. And occasionally if they have very like, animated features or certain like gestures that they do a lot, when they're talking, it's kind of easier to pick up on that, especially if you know someone like quite well. However, walking like that person, I just felt was a bit tough because what we're supposed to do for this project is we're supposed to create an actual imitation without satirizing or parodying their actual movement, which I find a bit tough since I kind of do that on my own thing. When I do imitations of others. But I felt overall this project was actually pretty unique and insightful. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances surrounding us and campus being shut down until next year, I felt that there could have been more potential with my project, but it might not have been realized. But I think after having some experience doing this, like recording myself, for example, I think definitely it will help prepare me for the next couple of projects, which will inevitably involve me recording myself again. All right. Well, with that said, this is Michael Lee signing off.